All right, welcome back, boys and girls. I don't know if this is going to be quick or not, but I'll do it as quick as I can. Lex, 5-minute lesson on conditional probability. What is the probability of A happening if B is already true? Sometimes you'll see this written as the probability of A given B. Okay, and there is an equation for this. It's the probability of A and B over the probability of B. Just remember, the one on the right always goes to the bottom. The one on the right, the one that's already known. Okay? We'll come back to this equation in just a little bit. But for now, I want to show you that many of these questions don't require an equation. So when you come across a data table, what you want to do is add up the rows and columns. This will make these questions so much easier, and you won't have to use the equations. So you just want to add up how many people got less than a high school education. Well, that's 69 and 2, 71 and 36. That's 107. I'm probably going to make a mistake here, and you guys are going to make fun of my videos again, but whatever. Add these up, you get, let's see, 112 and 112. Is that what that adds up to? Yeah, 224. If anyone's got a calculator and can spare me, that would help. Oh dear, these are getting harder. Thank you. This is 438. And then this is 436. And now we're going to add up all the columns too. 69 plus 112 plus 102 plus 13, 36 plus 98 plus 193 plus 178. This is taking too long. I'm sorry. And then if I add up these, it should give me the same answer. Okay. Now, if we added up the 296, 504, and 404, or 505, excuse me. And that would be the same as if I added up these two. Okay, once you've done that, these questions become much easier. What's the problem that someone has less than a high school education? Well, that is 107 people have less than a high school education, and there's 1,205 people in the survey. Okay, so that's how you would do that one. If you wanted to write it as a decimal, you just do 107 divided by 1,205, and you get how about 0.0888? So about 9%. Okay. What's the probability that someone earns over 30,000 and has less than a high school education? Okay. Well, here we go. How many people earn over 30? 2 people that have. So it's 2 out of 107 here. Notice that since we had everything separated, I can just look for how many people have less than a high school education. 107. How many of them make over $30,000? 2. So it's 2 out of 107. What's the probability that someone owns over 37 if we know they only have a high school, or over 30 grand if we know they only have a high school education? Less than? Okay, how many people have a high school education? 224. How many of those 224 people earn over 30,000? 14. Okay? And then what's the probability that someone has a high school education or less given they earn over 30,000? Well, how many people earn over 30,000? 404. How many of those 404 have a high school education or less? 2. I feel like they're trying to slam this into your head. But I don't think you should use money as the primary reason to get a high school education. I think you should just use self-development. The money comes next. And by the way, if you want to make money, just figure out a business and do it. Like everyone can do that if that's what matters to you. All right, here we go. Next. Now what are we getting into next? All right, here's a question without a table where we have to use our formula. So, what's the probability that a student plays a sport given they are female? Well, that's the probability that they play a sport and are female over the probability that they are female. Yes. Okay. So, 55% are female, and 32% of the class are females and play sports. So the answer to this is 0.32 divided by 0.55. That is 58.2%. Boink. Boink. Okay, finally, probability trees. Okay, this is absolutely on your test. In fact, I will say the majority of your test actually comes from this section. So I'm really glad you asked to make a video. Okay, a softball chance. So the game, you start with just the game, and it's got an 80% chance of being canceled if it rains. What? And a 30% chance of being canceled. Oh, so this is kind of tricky. Hold on, let me delete this. First, we got to go rain or no rain. Rain, no rain. Now, if it rains, it has a 30% chance of being canceled. No, an 80% chance of being canceled. That means it's a 20% chance of not being canceled. If it doesn't rain, this is a silly one. It has a 30% chance of being canceled and a 70% chance. That seems a little ridiculous. I don't think it's a 30% chance of being canceled by the fog, but whatever. So here's what we have. We've got it rains, it doesn't rain. And then in each situation, it gets canceled and it doesn't get canceled. There is a 70% chance of fog with no rain. So we have a 30% chance of rain and a 70% chance of no rain. Okay? So now, find the probability that there will be fog and the game will be canceled. All you do is follow your numbers. So for part B, you go no rain, 0.7, times canceled, 0.3, and you multiply them. So this is going to be 0.021. Not very likely to be canceled because of fog. Find the probability that there will be rain and the game will be played. Okay, well the probability, this is C here. The probability of rain is 0.3 and the game will be played. And if it rains, the probability that it's canceled is 0.8. So that's going to be 0.24. So that's way more likely. 0.24, excuse me. And then in D, find the probability that it will be canceled. Well, that's going to be either one. So it's going to be the probability that it rains and get canceled is 0.3 times 0.8. Oh, I screwed this one should not have been. I screwed up part C, but I'm just going to keep going. And the probability that it gets canceled because of the fog is 0.7 times 0.3. Let's see, 0.3 times 0.8 plus 0.7 times 0.3, and you get 0.45. That's a pretty high probability of getting canceled, but that's how it feels right now with the ring. Okay, come see me if you have any questions. Boom.